even when he's bad. That's Pete Thompson, SNJ today, co-host of The Locker Room. PT, what's up, buddy?
Hi, PG. Hi, John. How are you guys? Doing all right?
Very well. Well, we can start with the state finals, man. I know you're covering them for SNJ today over the weekend. Cedar Creek, big win there. St. Joe, another one for Coach Sacco. How many now is that? 200, I feel like, for that guy. Congratulations to those two programs. PT, let's start with Cedar Creek. How about that win over a previously undefeated West Deptford team?
Yeah, it was one of the more exciting football games I've covered, high school football games I've covered in a long, long time. I mean, they were down 14-0 at the half, but right before the half, there was a play that a lot of people might have missed. Bo Melton almost took it to the house and literally got tackled at the 1 as time expired. And you thought, oh, my gosh, they were so close to getting points on the board. But rather than that be a negative, Tim Watson and his boys took that as a positive, and they really came out fired up in the second half. It was just a great football game, and plays were made, like I said, by Bo Melton, and plays were made even Louis Patali, you know, all 5'3" of him. You know, I mean, he's the smallest kid on the field. He looks like he's not old enough to drive, you know, and he's out there catching a touchdown pass on that halfback option. And then the kicker was important too. You know, Linwood's own Jim Cooper, who you guys know, his son kicked for Mainland and then went up to Temple.
Temple.
Kind of in flux up at Temple right now. But Jim Cooper helps both kickers out. He helps the kicker out for Cedar Creek, and he helps the kicker out for St. Joe. And it was nice to see that, you know, it came down to an extra point. The extra point was good. I mean, West Deptford's kicker missed his extra point, and Cedar Creek's kicker did not. And there you go. Thus, the championship was won. So that was a great first football game. Now, the second one was not as drama-filled. I actually think they played a little bit down to the level of Hudson Catholic and down to the competition. But for your answer there, 7 in a row. How many state titles has Paul Sacco won? A bunch. But I know that the number is 7 because it's 7 in a row that they won non-public. So it was a good football game. I mean, the Horn brothers, that's the names that you know the most, Horn and Alam Horn.
101 career touchdowns for those two guys.
Yeah, they really left their imprint on Wildcat football. They were there. They got, you know, obviously 4 state titles every year they were there. Probably one of the greatest high school football plays I've ever seen. Last season, the junior season, that game out in Steubenville. Remember that play that the Horn kid had? That, I mean, that's just. But on their whole senior season, they were banged up, and you know, the one kid told us after the game, I think it was Alam Horn, said something about, I probably tore my meniscus again, but wait, what? Like, wait, what? You're playing with a bad knee, but, you know, not 100%, and you go out and you give 100%, and that's why Wildcat football continues to win. So it was a really good Sunday up there, and a good way to kind of cap it off, you know.
Pete Thompson, co-host of The Locker Room, SNJ today, Saturday. I guess that show's over with now, right, PT? No more football? You going to do a basketball show?
There's talk about that. So, you know,
all right.
Never gone, never forgotten. Just we're working up the plans. I mean, that's more Mike Frankel's department than mine, but we'll certainly let you know when we know more.
Well, you can take the holiday season off, and hopefully when the new year starts, you guys can ramp it back up there for the basketball coverage. But I know you're a Temple guy. Boca Raton Bowl against Toledo. It's not quite New Year's Day. I guess Houston's going to get that. Did you watch that game against Houston? A lot of turnovers, I know, in that first half. So how about Temple's bowl invite against Toledo? And really more importantly, PT, they've signed Matt Rule to a nice extension there, huh?
That part is the part that I'm most pleased about, that they were able to find the money to pony up and step up and keep Matt Rule around, because obviously he's been a big part of the rebuild, if you will, at Temple and the success that they've had. Now, sure, a New Year's Day Bowl would have been fantastic. Boca Raton, it's like the old Seinfeld, Del Boca Vista, right? I mean, it's a wonderful place to live. There's shuffleboard.
Sopranos episode, I know, was it Boca Raton? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the premier bowl that they were looking for, but you know what? A bowl game is a bowl game, and I think I've told this story before, that when I was in college, Temple went 7-4, and they were the most improved Division I team in the country, and they couldn't even get the Pullman Weed Eater Bowl. as what it was at the time. So, there's a lot of criticism out there right now if there are too many bowl games and, bowl games that people don't care about. You bet your sweet Bippy that Temple cares about playing in the Boca Raton Bowl and the fact that they're going to get the money that goes with it and the prestige that goes with it. So, I think it's great.
Yeah, Pete, you mentioned the influx of bowls, and the problem this year is that certain teams are in bowl games that didn't even finish 500 because they didn't have enough bowl-eligible teams. But Temple was not in that category, and to me, the Matt Rule signing is bigger than the bowl game because we've already been through Al Golden, who to me really turned this program around, but he had his foot out the door almost immediately. And then Steve Adazio. So how important for that program is being able to keep a guy like this around for at least another year? We know these contracts don't necessarily mean 6 years if it says 6 years.
True. That's a good point, John. I know this. I know that you're right. Al Golden was the kindling, if you will, and then Steve Adazio was only around almost for a hiccup. It's ironic that Al Golden isn't a coach right now, because of what happened down in Miami, but Matt Rule is, and yet he's the one that reaps the benefits of the deal that I think that an Adazio or an Al Golden would have taken. If that was the kind of money that those guys would have been offered, I don't think they ever would have left. But I think it's wise that Temple finally opened their eyes and figured out that, we gotta pony up to keep guys like this. The other thing about Temple football right now is, they were talking about putting a stadium on campus, and the mayor-elect, if you will, the new guy coming in, Jim Kenney, has kind of put the brakes on that. I mean, they were about to, they were going to have a whole study about it, and then because the new mayor said, no, wait a second, so I mean, there's going to be some more discussion about that. And you know what? Sometimes there were also protests on campus. That's a whole other sidebar story where, some of the students and faculty felt that, is it really the right time to spend $100,000 or $100 million on a new stadium? Why don't we take care of our own? But I'd love to see a stadium on campus, quite frankly. So if they're moving in that direction, that's a good direction to be moving in my opinion.
All right, Pete Thompson, SNJ today. Are you doing any Flyers stuff tonight or tomorrow? No, they got a back-to-back.
Yeah, I'm not working up the Comcast till there's something with Army Navy on Friday or tomorrow possibly that I might be doing. But I'm watching, and I know that. I know they need to win in St. Louis, just like they hadn't won at Madison Square Garden in a long time. They haven't won at the Scott Trade Center in a long time. So Michael Neuvert in goal tonight. And I heard John talking before I came on, too. I'll say this about all the Phillies moves that have taken place. In the last 12 months, they've traded 7 players in exchange for 16 prospects. So say what you will about Nets Puntek and the new GM, but they're making moves. I don't know if they'll pay off, but, to a lifelong Phillies fan like myself, we remember 5-1, right, when the Phillies traded away 5 guys to get back Von Hayes. Well, I'd rather have 16 for 7. I like it going that way, where we have more chances to have success of guys coming in than trading the guys out. So I'm okay with that.
And it makes sense for where they are in their rebuilding process. So that's just the nature of it. You got to sort of fix multiple positions, and you have a guy like Giles that people think has a significant upside as a closer. He's the kind of player you can spin off for 4 assets, which is exactly what they did.
All right, Pete Thompson, SNJ today, co-host of The Locker Room with Mike Frankel. PT, thank you, buddy. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, you guys have fun out there, okay?
All right, of course, we always do, right, John?
Always.